I went to for CZW, where my cousin used to wrestle. He was supposed to win the match. The one person who got to like an array of light tubes, and they sliced his back open from ear to ear, and immediately he had to roll over and get covered for the pin and lose and roll out so they could take him to the ER. So I mean, like, it's very possible that Joe was slated to win tonight, and they're like, "Oh shit, Joe's hurt. Here, take the fall real quick."
No, I still disagree. Joe wasn't going to win that match.
I hate that though. I mean, I get like the point of it. Like, it's Shinsuke Nakamura. Have him go. He went through all the trials of beating Finn Balor. He went through beating other people, kind of thing, and basically pulled an Oscar kind of thing. Just doing that, and they had him be champion. I mean, I don't agree with it. As much as I love Shinsuke Nakamura, I love him to death. I even boasted about him when he came here, how excited I was. But I just still think Samoa Joe should have won. I think they should have kept him with the title. But on the bright side, seeing that though, the feud will continue. At least Joe has a rematch, that kind of thing. We'll see more of that. That's the best thing about it. But I still wish Joe would have kept the title.
Well, I mean, let's talk.
Let's do it.
Austin Aries versus No Way Jose.
Great match.
I agree.
That was a great match. Great way to start off the night.
It was, as we said before, and this one, obviously, luckily this show's going to be running a lot smoother. Chat-wise, it's going to be a bit harder to read the chat because of high CPU, which makes it where it's hard to do the show in a way, or the laptop will freeze up. So let's just say that. Yeah, well, that's actually what's happening. But needless to say, we said this from the get-go. Aries really needed this win. He really did, and he got it. But I actually have a little funny story for everyone. So I'm actually watching this with my uncle, who here in Oregon. I'm watching it with him, and he hasn't watched wrestling since like the Ultimate Warrior. He went to the WrestleMania where Warrior faced Hulk Hogan. So let's just say he hasn't watched wrestling in that long. So I was watching it with him, and I'm talking to him. He's like, "I'm gonna go with the person that has the cooler name," and he's largely like, "Okay, No Way Jose's not cool." He said, "Austin Aries, that's a cooler name. I'm going with him." 1 for 1. Second match of the night, Ember Moon. He's like, Ember Moon's a cooler name. 2 for 2. Tag team match. He's like, oh, the Revival's a cooler name. He's like, oh, Bobby Roode's a cool name.
Wait, Bobby Roode over Andrade Cien Almas? Really?
And then he did vote Bailey. He did vote Bailey and Samoa Joe. But back to the point.
He did the same thing I did, and went 4 for 6.
I only got 2 matches wrong.
Yeah, same. I got 2 wrong, too. I got the final 2 wrong. I thought Bailey was going to win.
Colby says new next champ. No, he meant NXT champ. Yes, there is a new NXT champ. But what did you guys think of Austin Aries and No Way Jose? I'll give my quick thought. I thought Austin Aries carried No Way Jose. I did not enjoy No Way Jose at all.
No, yeah, I mean, that's definitely to be said. I mean, Austin Aries, put on a hell of a show. I mean, No Way Jose, he tried to keep up with him, but I don't know. I shouldn't be the one who's commenting on this because I said from the get-go I don't like No Way Jose. Same thing with Andrade. I just have a predisposition to hate them. Like, it's just, I don't like their gig. Sorry. They don't entertain me.
No Way Jose's more of a, like, his music and his characters, what can get him over, not in the ring. By the way, your dad's listening, Andrew.
All right.
But continue, Andrew.
It's just No Way Jose. He I don't know what it is about him, but he's just not entertaining.
Right.
For me,
he's just a gimmick guy. He's not a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a gimmick. That's all.
Like I said, he kind of reminds me of Adam Rose. Like Adam Rose, a guy like he was great when it came to the entrance. Like, he was funny to watch, But when it came to wrestling, it was just like, eh. At least Adam Rose somewhat had, like, an entertaining aspect to him when he wrestled. Like, he would kind of goof around to the point where it was funny to watch him wrestle. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, for example. Shinsuke Nakamura, he does those weird, quirky things, which are bizarre, to anybody around him. But it's funny to see him do that stuff. Like when he was provoking Samoa Joe earlier on in the month, where he grabbed his nose. Like those are the things that kind of like make him stick out, and that's the kind of difference between Adam Rose and No Way Jose. No Way Jose doesn't have that little, bizarre feel to him that makes him somewhat entertaining in the ring. And without the entertainment in the ring, all he is like Blake said, just a gimmick factor.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guys think Austin Aries did in the ring tonight?
Oh, he did great. He definitely had a great match. And I was kind of worried too because, No Way Jose, he's not like a bigger guy, but like Baron Corbin, the issue Austin said before was that Baron Corbin was big and he couldn't really like work well with a bigger guy kind of thing. And No Way Jose is another bigger guy, but Austin Aries I thought did great. He hit all his moves. There was one time in the match though where he looked like he was going for his brainbuster, which like you watching TNA, that's like his patented move kind of thing.
Everyone, I was
hoping
like,
so much is gonna hit it.
Yay. I was like, yay.
I was like, oh my god, they're actually gonna let him do it, but no. I love his submission though. Last Chancery, I love that. And like I said, the match went great. It went super smooth. I loved it. It was a great way to start off the night. And Austin Aries finally got the win that he needed, like to kind of push him forward.
Right. So Ryan just walked in, and he's probably mad at me right now. He's like, "Oh, I didn't want to be involved." But Ryan got 2 matches wrong. He's never watched this ever. He got 2 matches wrong. It was because he didn't go with his gut feeling on that. Well, he didn't like Shinsuke Nakamura. He didn't like it. He said the entrance was overdone. He thinks he's weird, right? Yeah, he thinks he's weird. And then he went for Bayley instead of Asuka.
He embraces that though.
He didn't go.
Surprised because he was going for cool names. Asuka's
that is funny. He did not go with his gut feeling. He did say, "Well, Asuka's a cooler name." He's like, "I'm going to go with Bayley."
She's hot.
Yeah, but what was after that? I want to say Bobby Roode was the second match, right? Yeah, because we got glorified.
No, I think it was Ember Rose.
No, it was Ember Moon and
Ember Rose.
How excited I am to talk about that.
I feel like Daniel Bryan, man. I feel like Daniel Bryan right now. Apollo Creed, man. Oh wait, Cruz.
Dude, Ember Moon coming out though, I did not expect that. I expected her to come in looking like the Mortal Kombat character. We saw her in the commercials for her kind of thing, and she came out like a ball of fire, all hyped up and shit. I didn't expect that. I was just gonna come in keeping like the thing on her face and like just come in all subtle like an assassin, but no, she had a lot of hype.
Let me say
a Mortal Kombat character.
I probably enjoyed that match as much, if not more, than the Bayley versus Asuka match.
What?
And I know it's surprising, but that was a really good match. I was really impressed with Billie Kay. I was really impressed with Ember Moon. Like for me, it's sort of like they're on the same plateau. Maybe Bayley and Asuka are a little bit better. But I've already seen Bayley and Asuka. Like that wasn't like a new thing to me where this one was. So I don't know. I was impressed with both women's matches. They were both good, and that like corkscrew stunner that she did.
That was the highlight of the match, in my opinion. That was it.
Dude, that was one of the coolest moves I've seen in a while, especially from the women's division. That was awesome.
Ember Moon looked good, but Billie Kay, right?
Billie Kay looked good.
Billie Kay, I don't know.
She still looks strong.
She made a few flops that kind of got me. But you also have to realize, I'm very, very, very nitpicky when it comes to this stuff. For a debut at a takeover for Billie Kay, I think she could have done better. But I think the situation she was put in kind of screwed her over because of it being a debut. And as we all know, when it comes to NXT, a debut means that whoever is going to wrestle, whoever is debuting will win.
That's what I was going to say, actually, is that as good, she could have looked great, and she definitely could have looked better, but at the end of the day, she's there to job and, make Ember Moon look, as good as possible. That's the same thing with Andrade and Bobby Roode. Andrade is there to make himself look good, but make Bobby Roode look better. That's what you're supposed to do, and she did that. Billie Kay really did that pretty damn well. Could Billie Kay have done a lot better? Yeah, it could have been a better match, obviously, but honestly, Billie Kay was there, and she did her job.
Bobby Roode made Bobby Roode look good. It wasn't in Andrade's CN. it was Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that's true.
He definitely lived up to his hype, man. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
His entrance.
Oh my god.
You want to talk about overdone entrances? Like, no, there's no way. Like that entrance was borderline glorious.
Oh, that was. I loved it. Bobby Roode. Everything about Bobby Roode was awesome. I think Ryan became a Bobby Roode fan. He's like, yeah, he looked cool.
I mean,
Look,
it
the best
just
thing about his
shows arrogance, though.
I liked Ember Moon. I
Yeah,
did.
that's the point. So,
I did. But back to the point. I liked Ember Moon. I think she's good to replace Bayley whenever, because Bayley's getting moved up. 100%. That was her last match
yeah.
at NXT.
With the way it ended and the way that everybody kind of like said thank you and everybody being there, like all of the original 4 women, yeah, she's done. She's going she's going to move on.
She might go on that Australia and New Zealand tour, but when it comes to I'm sorry, when it comes to like NXT tapings and takeovers, I think she's done. I think we'll see her Monday, to be honest with you. I think Ember Moon is going to be a good fit if she can continue to be strong. We've said this with debuts before, where someone looks great at a debut. I mean, Andrade Cien is a great example. He looked really good on his debut. I didn't like him, of course, but we've seen this in the past. I mean, with Austin Aries, we can all agree. You weren't here, Andrew, but we all said, I thought Austin Aries could have done better. If you want my opinion, this is my piss break match. Was Billie Kay and Ember Moon.
yeah, I definitely agree with that one. I mean, it sucks to say that, but it really was. But I mean, it's not that it was like really a bad match. It was honestly a great match. It really was. I really liked it. Ember Moon definitely looked good, especially her finishing move was awesome. I can't get over that. I love that.
I don't know. Surprisingly for me, the only match that really didn't keep my attention was the main event. I don't know why. It's just I guess it's because it was the only match that was slow. I mean, all the other matches were fast paced, but I mean, like there was something about a slow match that just kind of like that was the time where I was checking my phone, looking like at stuff. Like I wasn't tuned into the match like I was for the rest of the show. Like for me, the winner of the night is the tag team match. I thought they tore the house down once again.
Oh my god!
Once again, the tag team.
Do you guys want to skip and just talk about the tag team? You guys want to skip it and just talk about it? Because I was going in order, that's why I was saying skip it.
Yeah, we don't have to go in order. That's fine. We can just go anywhere.
I will tell you this, Andrew, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. The one match that I can actually say that Ryan put his laptop down to watch was the tag team match.
Well, dude, it was great all around. It was not a bad moment.
And here's what's funny. Here's what's funny. Is the very beginning he said, I don't know, I'm not feeling this match. And I told him, I said, it's a 30-minute match. Let it go. Let it play out. Let it play out.
Well, the thing I've noticed about the tag team picture in NXT is every single pay-per-view, the one thing that stands true is that the tag team match either is the match of the night or second hand to the match of the night. It's never the worst match on the card. And like it's like one right after another, and like 90% of the time it's because of the Revival being in the main event.
I agree.
There's something about the Revival that really brings out the best in the tag team division. I wasn't as sold on Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa as I was tonight. Same thing with Enzo and Cass. As much as I loved Enzo and Cass, I wasn't 100% sold on them until they went up against the Revival. Like that just goes to show you.
Like if I sit down and think about it, the Revival is what is making the tag team. They honestly are making the tag team matches and the championships so good. I don't want to say that they made American Alpha as good as they are, because they didn't. American Alpha built a name for themselves, and they got themselves to the title picture. Gargano and Ciampa, they got a lot of support behind them to put them in that spot. And, I thought Gargano and Ciampa did amazing, but the Revival, it is true. The Revival is absolutely amazing. Yes, they're the heel, and I'm going to boo them, but I respect the hell out of what they do. And Ryan says it's because they have a cool name.
Of course, that's exactly why.
If only it were that easy to get over in the WWE. Oh, it's just a cool name.
If it was that case,
and I really hope too that the Revival has I hope they have like a title run like the Ascension kind of thing where they don't get moved up for a while. I want to see them run with the titles for a while. They're doing so well. They have like they have their little niche kind of thing right now in the NXT Tag Team division, and they need to just run with it. Do not be moved up for a while. Keep owning this division. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be on the main roster for a while. Keep doing what you're doing. It's perfect.
Well, see, that's where you start to get a little nervous, though, because they're really pushing people like the Authors of Pain, and I don't see them staying at a title picture for too long. But as long as the Revival are heel, and as long as the Revival are going to be around, there is no going to be Authors of Pain in the title picture, which is interesting because I thought that Jari Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were going to win, and that would set up a big feud with the Authors of Pain. I even said it, and Blake can tell you, I was texting, I'm like, something's going to happen. I'm like, either Tommaso Ciampa is going to go heel, which I thought was highly unlikely, or the Authors of Pain were going to come out, and I was very surprised when nothing happened.
I honestly would have
Because
been
there was
okay.
a long
I thought that
time.
was gonna happen.
I would have been okay with Ciampa going heel because of the match they had at the CWC. I still think that's the best match of the
That's true.
entire Cruiserweight Classic.
Sorry, I can't agree with that. I loved it.
I
I
also
really
haven't
did.
seen the past 2 weeks, so
You have to see Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander.
Alexander.
Man, he is that match was off the chain. I showed it to my dad. I showed it to a few guys at work who don't watch wrestling, and they became instant fans of the Cruiserweight Classic and of wrestling because of that match. You know, so I mean, you definitely have to see that.
yeah. Well, let's talk about getting glorified, shall we? Getting glorious.
Oh man, where
Glorious.
do we start, dude?
Bobby
The King
Roode.
of
Where do we
Glorious.
start?
I mean, the entrance was glorious.
The
That's-
entrance
It was Bobby Roode.
glorious.
It was Bobby
Do
Roode
you want to
being
know
Bobby
my
Roode.
favorite part of the entire match, though?
The entrance.
No. The crowd is chanting, "This is glorious." This
Oh my
is
God.
glorious." And he looks
Yeah.
over at the camera like, yeah, it is, yeah.
Well, it's funny too because like up until that point, like I was like, this crowd is really terrible, and I don't mean that in the worst way. I mean in the way that like normally
Brooklyn.
when you're in a wrestling, I mean it is Brooklyn and Brooklyn's a hard crowd, but normally in a WWE ring, and of course for some superstars, aka John Cena, it doesn't always happen, but the heels are booed, and the faces are cheered. In Brooklyn, it was the complete opposite for the first 3 matches, or at least the first 2 male matches. I mean, with No Way Jose, booed all over the place. Anything happened with No Way Jose, completely booed. I don't know if they auto-tuned it out, but he was booed all over the place. Same thing with Andrade Cien. He was booed like crazy. And like they were cheering for Austin Aries, they were cheering for Bobby Roode. Like it was the complete opposite of what you think, and it just goes to show you how crazy a crowd is and how good of a heel somebody like Bobby Roode is. The dude hasn't even been on live television for, not even a month now. I mean, he's just been like 2-3 weeks. He's been with the company on live TV, and already the fans are already like behind him and like they've glorified him. Yes, I'm going to call it glorifying. But I mean, it's all glorious, as it goes out to put it.
What I absolutely love is the very beginning, right before they came out in their entrances. They had an interview with Bobby Roode, and he's like, it's Brooklyn, they're nasty, they smell like armpit, blah, 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 and it's like, they're trying to get him to boo him. And it's like, at first they're like, boo, and, is it? And it was like, he kept going on, and just silence. And then he came out and popped. You're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What a pop. I think that's one thing I texted you, too. I was like, damn, what a pop.
Yeah, I thought...
Honestly, man, like, oh,
Go ahead.
And I think like 10 minutes later, I responded to you. I said, this man's a genius.
Bobby Roode.
you saying though, Andrew, about how the crowd like they cheer the heels and boo the faces. I love that because we see on the main roster, because it's all like kids or people that are like more casual fans kind of thing. They always cheer the faces and they always boo the heels kind of thing. We see in NXT that the smart crowd, they cheer for people that are purely about wrestling, that purely they love, that know just they don't care about faces or heels. They look past that and see the wrestlers who they actually like the guys like Bobby Roode, guys like Austin Aries, guys like Samoa Joe, who it doesn't matter if they're heels. That's irrelevant. They cheer them because they like them.
I agree with everything you said, but I think it's not about heel or face because the Revival, in their case, they get booed out of the building every single time, but yet it's still a great match. I think
I don't know how.
the better term that you would want is Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, TNA guys, and the people that are smart fans that watch these guys in TNA, watch them at Ring of Honor. They respect them. There's no way you're going to have those fans boo them because of what they've become and what the name they have made.
That's a better way to say it.
Beer Money, Bobby Roode,
that's what I love.
with his persona of being a Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, all money, and then Beer Money, and then becoming just Bobby Roode again.
Mm-hmm. Even the same thing with AJ Styles too on the main roster. He still gets cheered even though he's a full blown heel right now, kind of thing. I just love that the fans like here can see past like their gimmicks and like them for what they've seen in TNA and Ring of Honor, New Japan, everywhere. I love that.
I agree. Let's get into this. Asuka and Bayley. I'm just gonna say this: the finishing looked odd. I didn't honestly think it was gonna end that way, but I got this one right. Bayley's last match. It was a hard-hitting women's match, which was great to see. And we possibly have just seen Bayley's final match in NXT.
It's possible.
Yeah, there's no doubt. After that send-off, I mean, everybody was there. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha, they were all there for it. It's over for Bayley. She's getting called up to the main roster. They couldn't have made it more obvious as they did tonight.
Yeah.
It was actually the exact same send-off that Finn Balor had with Samoa Joe, because it was basically like them losing the title and then going for their rematch and then losing it again to that person. Basically put that champion over, saying that, okay, this person took my title, they deserve that spotlight, I'm going to give it to him, pass the torch on, kind of thing. It's the perfect way to go. If she comes back on NXT, I'm not going to like it. She needs to just go. Like Finn Balor did, just go. You're done. It's fine.
I'm honestly curious now, though. Like, now that Bayley's done with Asuka, it's just like I would have been okay if Bayley was the first person to beat Asuka. I would have been somewhat okay if Alexa Bliss was the first person to beat Asuka. And now that I'm looking at the main roster, I'm kind of thinking, like, oh my god, whoever beats Asuka, man, that's going to be a huge, huge push. And, she still remains undefeated. Her and Shinsuke Nakamura are the only two people left in NXT that are undefeated. And it's just like, you wonder who the heck's going to pin them. Or make them submit.
By the way, the ref did throw the X.
I thought so, too, because, I saw him put the X, but the way the camera was is it kind of cut off his face, so you couldn't tell for sure. But they rushed him back to the back of the stage, right away, so you knew something happened.
All right, something definitely. We're going to find it, in the news very soon. You watch. Something definitely went wrong. That was not a gimmick. That was not them playing it. Something went wrong. Because, like I said, Samoa Joe is a big dude. He can take a hit. For him to, hold his jaw like that, and you could see, the pain on his face. And then outside of the ring, him just straight leaving. You can tell that something went wrong.
Yeah, and that's
I didn't even
the thing
realize
you have to worry
he even,
about.
fell on his ass. He was doing a move, and he fell. I don't think he was supposed to be on the ground. Because, he lost his footing, fell, and then Shinsuke still went for his move, which I don't think he was supposed to do that.
See, that's the only problem with guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, though. They're known for their hard-hitting style. People have known to be getting hurt with
Joe.
Guys with him. I mean, Samoa Joe, too, but I mean, that's just my, that's what I'm trying to say here, is, that hard style, man. People are known to get hurt from it. I mean, a lot of people, always pride themselves off of saying, oh, well, wrestling's fake. You're like, there are aspects of wrestling that are fake and obviously are staged, but you can't train somebody to, fall 10 feet and, fall into a table. Some of those strikes that you take, like the hard strikes, you're not going to be prepared for it no matter how much training you go into. You're talking about guys that are trained to take suplexes on the mat. Like, they practice day in and day out on how to fall the right way. But, like, it's not 100%, kosher. When you get into a match like that with a hard-hitting person who could actually hit you and knock your lights out, anything could happen. And with that hard style, man,
Exactly.
anything could happen like that.
That's a guy like AJ Styles on SmackDown when he knocked a tooth out of The Miz. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen either. But guys like that hit hard. He's been doing this forever, like 15 years. Styles has been doing this, and it doesn't matter. It's still like that happens. That stuff just happens. People hit hard, especially when you're in New Japan. Guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, guys like Kota Ibushi, Hideo Itami, guys like that. They hit hard. They are trained to do that. Yes, wrestling is fake, okay, but they are still trained to hit hard because New Japan, especially, they hit hard. They don't care even if it's fake. They still will hit you hard as shit, and you have people to take it. It is what it is.
Well, it just goes down is they want to sell. They want to really sell what's going on, and the way that New Japan is set up, they want to make it as real as possible. And those hard hits make it one step closer to being as real as it can be.
Yeah, when Joe and Shinsuke came on, I was kind of over it, to be honest. The entrance made it seem like it was going to be crazy big. Man, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I wanted to see
it
like
definitely wasn't a match of the night. I'm sorry,
how
dude.
It was. Especially with how it ended on NXT with like Joe going after him kind of thing and how they built it. I wanted to see a bloodbath. I want to see a slugfest. Like, as soon as the bell rang, I wanted to see them charge each other and beat the shit out of each other. And we got like a slow, methodical kind of match. So, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed in it. We even said on the pre-show, we all said that the main event was supposed to be like the main event match of the night. I don't know. I don't think it was. It was not. It did not measure up to matches like the tag team match. It didn't, and I hate that so much because Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura are two amazing talents that they never met before. This is the first time they're meeting. It's supposed to be an amazing match. Was it a great match? Yeah, it was one of the matches of the night, but I don't think it was the best. It definitely was not the best for me.
Well, it looked like it was going to be that though, because as soon as Samoa Joe came down, like, he walked right up to Shinsuke and shoved him. And I was like, all right, here we go, let's do it. And all of a sudden, slow match. Oh, okay, let's check my phone.
And then bell rang and like nothing.
Slow match.
Like, everything before the bell was like great. We were going to see bloodbath. Like, they want to get to each other. They want to fight. They want to have a bloodbath, not a wrestling match. They want to have a fight. And then the bell rang and it's like, okay, we're having a wrestling match. Like, come on, man. Don't build it like it's going to be a bloodbath. You just want to rip each other apart and then just have a regular match. That's all it really was.
Yeah, it also could have been because of Joe's size. That could have been a problem. I don't believe it, but...
Yeah, because I know like Shinsuke wanted like the exploder, like the reverse exploder suplex kind of thing, and I don't think he could have pulled it off. Not that he tried to. I mean, really, he didn't get to do it because Joe reversed out of it, but still, I don't think it would have been possible.
The best way to put it is, these guys are... the word I'm looking for. These guys are technical wrestlers, and they also have an MMA background. So,
yeah,
what I think is what we saw. We saw more of an MMA feel.
I actually liked it. Like the beginning of the match too, we saw them. It looked like basically we're watching a UFC fight because it looked like they were like doing like a bit of MMA stuff, and I love that. But I just didn't like how slow and methodical it was. Like, okay, I'd be okay. I love slow and methodical matches. I'm okay with that completely. But not when you build it to be these guys want to rip each other apart, especially with how Shinsuke has been antagonizing Joe, teasing him, taunting him, all that stuff. Then they want to rip each other's heads off, and then you leave, and then you match starts, you ring the bell, and it's just slow.
Hello, Jordan Ramsey.
That's when it's not.
He said hi.
They should have made it be like a bloodbath.
He said hi in the first show, and I didn't respond to him, but hi. If you're still there. I don't know. Most like disappointing would be the main event because I did not want the title to change hands. I really didn't. And I don't think that it was... I do not think it was the referee or because of Joe's jaw being broken. If it is broken, I don't think that. I honestly think that Joe was meant to lose that match because of the way the match went. We always see it that way. Someone will dominate the match and usually it'll turn into so-and-so's favor.
Right.
It was part of the finish. If it was Joe, if that was the case, it would have been so quick because the referee didn't go to Joe when he first went at his jaw, because Joe just got up and let him have the back, knee to the back of the head, come back, get back up for the finisher.
Yeah, I don't think Joe lost because of the whole jaw thing, whatever happened there. I don't think so, but I mean, it's just. I mean, I knew obviously tonight we were going to see a title change because I mean it's Brooklyn Takeover 2 kind of thing. They had to do something. The tag team titles, I mean, that was a possibility of changing. I don't know. Women's title could have went either way, but the main event, I really was hoping. That's the one title I did not want to change hands. I think it should stay with Joe. Let him do his thing. Yes, as amazing as Shinsuke is, just man, I don't know. I just wanted Joe to win it. I would have been fine with Asuka losing a title. I would have been fine with Rival losing a title. But Joe losing his title, I'm not a fan of. I still love Shinsuke. I'm glad he's champion, but I still wish Joe would have retained.
Since Dallas, there's only been one title change in a takeover event. Dallas being the tag team titles, American Alpha grabbing, or two titles actually went after the women's title and the tag team titles changed. Then at the end, it was just the tag team titles. And then now today, it was just the main title. I think his run should have lasted a lot longer. The only thing you can do if his jaw's not broken is the continued story of William Regal versus Samoa Joe and the rematch. But if his jaw is broken, he's gone for a good bit.
Yeah, and that's not good for him because, I know they have big things planned for Samoa Joe, and I know they've been kind of teasing some possible dream matches and the main event or main roster. Because I know on Twitter there's been a war between Joe and Brock Lesnar. Everybody's been warring with Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor, Goldberg, the whole works. But that was a possible dream match. I've been saying this since day one. I want Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, but
It's already happened though.
If Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
I've never seen that.
Lesnar was young in the WWE. I think it was a squash match for Lesnar.
But Samoa Joe.
Yep.
In the WWE.
I didn't know that till today either. So I'm not rating on your brain.
I didn't even know that Samoa Joe was even in the WWE.
AJ Styles in the WWE before. He was also in WCW. Samoa Joe was in the WWE. There's a few big stars that have been there. I mean, the big one, one of the bigger ones, Daniel Bryan was also in the WWE. One of the big ones I can remember is...
Young was there for a minute.
Yeah,
well, I knew
Matt
that,
Morgan was in the WWE at one point.
Matt Morgan was there.
There's
a lot of guys.
Yeah. It can ruin a lot of things, and Andrew, your dad says, what about the 3 suspensions announced this week?
That's a big one, yeah.
I guess we can.
Eva Marie Page and Alberto Del Rio.
Eva Marie, they're making a big case. Well, she's not. Her husband's making a huge case about it right now. Paige and Alberto Del Rio did not get caught with the same drug, but it's getting to the point where the rumor is that Del Rio's done. I know Paige is still recovering from injury, so it could have been something illegal that tried to take the pain away from her injury. It's the only thing I can think of that's logical to defend her. But with Eva Marie, I don't know. I mean,
according to her husband and her manager, they're one and the same. He posted a tweet saying that that she was suspended unjustly, and that once he releases the details, the fans will quote unquote lose their crap. About how she was suspended. So I'm kind of curious what that's all about.
I don't know. I'm ready for tomorrow because I'm going to say something that you guys aren't going to be expecting.
Really?
What, like a prediction?
Yep.
Really?
It's going to be a Dolph Ziggler. It's going to be a Dolph Ziggler victory at Brooklyn.
Let's just say this. I played his music earlier before I started the show.
Oh, The Undertaker.
Oh, what? You think you're going to see... Oh, wait, was that...
You think we're going to see...
show or Tonight Show? Like right now.
I've heard
Tomorrow.
that they have been toying with the idea of bringing back the Undertaker. He's dyed his hair, which normally means that he's going to make a televised appearance. So, that would be kind of cool. Question is, what capacity are they going to use him in? Because I've heard that they're slating him going back to SmackDown. So,
I don't know. I think we should end the show on that right there.
question mark.
Cliffhanger.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Don't know outro. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it.
We will be. Oh man, I'm just thinking about this. We will be live. I'm trying to think time wise. 3, 4, 5. We'll be live tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 5 Eastern. Excuse me, 5 Eastern.
I'm about to say.
5 o'clock
So that's
Eastern, 4
way
o'clock
off.
Central, 2 o'clock Pacific time. And I just thought about that. I was like, ooh. So I got to get everything ready for tomorrow.
You West Coast boys.
Yeah, man. Like, it's honestly a big struggle time wise.
Struggle
really
is
is.
real.
But, I mean, for Andrew Bass and Kyle Lepore, I think that's going to be it for us. Great show for NXT. I still think Dallas is the best one of the year. That in the end, I think tonight was good, but I think, of course, it could have been better. So, is there any final thoughts you guys are wanting to say before we end it?
I definitely agree with you, Blake. But I mean, I did think tonight was a great show. The big issue with it was just the main event. Like, they need to have a great send off, and I feel like they didn't have that tonight. With just how I mean, we could be wrong. There's plenty of people who think, 10 out of 10 show. Shinsuke won. It was an amazing match, that kind of thing. But just the main event wasn't, at least in my opinion, I could be wrong. My opinion, what it was meant to be, kind of thing. They just didn't do what we were promised, kind of thing. I'm not even as mad with the results as just the match not being what we were basically led to believe it was. But I did think it was a great show, but tomorrow's definitely going to be interesting. There's a lot of great matches that are happening at SummerSlam, and I'm really excited to see how tomorrow goes. So maybe it'll be better than tonight. I think SummerSlam will definitely be better than tonight's Takeover. Definitely.
I don't know. I enjoyed the show. I really did. I thought they put on a fantastic show. The only issue I had was the main event, and it's like nothing I have against them. I love Shinsuke. I love Joe. I love them both. It just, like you said, Kyle, we were expecting a bloodbath. I was expecting, a hard-hitting, fast-paced match. I was expecting a street fight, to be completely honest. I thought this thing was going to get out of hand. And, the most exciting part of this match was Samoa Joe possibly breaking his jaw, as shitty as that to say, at least for me. It just, because it was so slow, it was so hard to follow, it was so hard to get behind, as opposed to the tag team match, which was so hard hitting and so quick paced. It was just everybody's just out of their seat running around. So I mean, it was a great show, very great show. But I definitely think that WWE finally has a chance of outdoing NXT.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy. That's just crazy to think about it. That WWE has been getting outshined by NXT for
a year. I would say a straight year.
Yeah, like a straight year.
Brooklyn.
And this is their one and only chance, as of right now, to outdo NXT. That's so bizarre that we can say that.
Well, I have one question. He's not in this call, but he's right next to me. Ryan, an honest opinion on tonight's show. He says tag team was the best one, but what do you think? Like, your first wrestling event or watching something for a while. Said he liked it.
That's good,
He
man.
said the main event was kind of boring. Are you looking forward to tomorrow's SummerSlam? He said, yeah. I was like, sarcastic one, though.
So you got to bring up a great point.
It is really going to be an amazing show. Tomorrow's going to be an amazing show.
Like I said earlier, this card for SummerSlam is better than WrestleMania's card.
Oh yeah, hands down.
It's stacked. Like, I want to see how they put the card, like how they set it up, because there's a lot of great matches, and I don't know if they're gonna like stack them all up, kind of thing, to have them like one after the other to make the crowd tired. Or they're gonna space them out. That's the
I hope they have a replacement for Eva Marie, because right now it looks like it's a 3-on-2 match, which is kind of stupid.
They'll have a replacement, or they'll just scratch it in general. But until
I've heard they still are doing it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They're slating it as a 3-on-2 match right now.
Ryan said that Goldberg will fill in.
Goldberg would fill
Oh,
in.
yeah,
Oh
dude,
my
sure,
god, that'd be
Goldberg
so funny.
No, here's what's funny. Is
Randy Orton filling in.
the entire time we were like making the Goldberg jokes, it was what matches was it? The Asuka match? During the women's match, Bayley and Asuka. At the very end, he said, "Here he comes," and I was like, no. He's like, Goldberg. No, I told him, I said Asuka is scary when she speaks in Japanese.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, Goldberg come out, she starts yelling,
Just go back to that, please.
Yeah, he's like, I wonder if she says something stupid, like, I'll pay for dinner tonight.
I'll pay for dinner tonight.
Hey, I'm doing good, thanks.
But be sure to tune in again tomorrow. We'll be live at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Right, 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. East. Yes, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Look, the Eastern's all it gets me, and then 4 o'clock Central time. So for Andrew, for Kyle, I'm Blake Carter, and until next time, or till tomorrow, again, be sure to tune in for our prediction show, and we'll be live immediately following SummerSlam. Until then, peace out.